So this was the last year of in February 2009. It was basically just the field as it is there, and they have an old ruin from a watchtower. There used to be a castle on the site as well. So we had it ploughed in February, and originally as well, he only wanted to provide space for 20 allotments, but by the time we got to him, I already had a waiting list of over 40 people who were interested. And so he was only going to let us put in 20 plots because he was a bit unsure about the idea at the time. And then another farmer got in touch with me, and he was interested, and I was going to hopefully negotiate that we can have the other 20 people up at that farm. But when the Thompsons heard of it, they immediately said we can put the other 20 here as well. So we ended up with a 2 acre. It's basically 2 acres. And after he had somebody in to plough it and rotivate it, we had to then prepare our beds. I think it's just a ploughed field, and a lot of people were very uncertain where to start, so everyone was trying to see what everybody else was doing. So this would have been March this time last year, just making out beds. And it progressed, and like this is the same site. This is probably in August of last year, and it's incredible just seeing the sequence of just this brown ploughed field, and then when you're there like July and August, there's just this diverse, just fields covered in all. It's quite a spectacle to see. So, and this is just one woman, Liz. She just put a photograph of everything. Like she's grown beetroots and potatoes and courgettes, beans. There's like me and myself, I've only ever grown like a very small area, and just this year I had so much food. It was incredible. This is just the layout of the 2 acres that we have. There's 40 plots there. At the moment, the polytunnel is just an aspiration. We're hopefully going to go around looking for funding from SECAD to get one. This is done by a surveyor, so it's all very precise and accurate, and other people have other skills that they've brought. So it's a really effective group, and it's been great just meeting them, and over the year just getting to know them. So in August as well, we had a community picnic there, and we had if you know of the Hollies in Inniskeen, which is the Centre for Sustainable Education. He came down and he gave us a talk on different gardening techniques. And we had face painting done for the children, and everyone brought like all sorts of baked goods and vegetables and everything that they had grown on the allotment. And we were very fortunate too in that one of the people there who has an allotment is also a beekeeper. So we have bees just off behind the castle. He has about 4 or 5 beehives. So he just on that day too, he just had a demonstration showing he had a frame taken out of one of his hives, and you could see the bees working inside, and it's very nice. So we also have a website set up now where people can post their pictures, and if people want to suggest things that they want to see done at the allotments, it's all there, and it's working very well. And it just gives us some PR as well. So what we hope to do in 2010 is we're going to actually, there's a big open green space that we haven't used for anything yet, and we're going to plant an orchard there next week as part of National Tree Week, and we're getting trees from Woodcore Nurseries in Skibbereen. We're planting about 6 apple trees and a couple of pear trees, some plum trees, and some cobnut trees. We've also applied under local Agenda 21 for funding for a community composter, which is it's a wooden tree bay composting system, which we hope to use to so we can produce large quantities of compost together. We also just in the last week, as a group, I think there's about 14, about a dozen people got together who were interested in getting sheds, and they went to Hanley's together. So they bought in bulk, and they were able to get a really good discount on that. And as I said, we're also going to be applying. There's an interest there as well for getting a polytunnel. and we're going to apply for, hopefully get funding under this, apply under SECAD for that. So all in all, it's been a... Oh yeah, and if for people as well interested in their own allotment, that's how we went about it. And there's a lot more allotments happening now. When we started, there was very few to choose from, and you'd have to travel a very far distance to get to one. But if you are interested, some good websites to find out if there's one in your local area would be the Irish Allotments website, which is started by a person living in Cork, and he lists like different areas, and they're not all there, but he does have a fairly good list. There's also a very good resource is the Cork Food Web. There's I don't know if you've heard of that, but it's definitely worth checking out. And there's different groups, and one of them is allotments. And if you're just looking, you can just post up your own comments, and you'll almost definitely find something that's close to you, I think. There's also there's another allotments website, allotments.ie. And I was only looking at that last night, but it doesn't list, many of the ones in Cork aren't listed on it, so you really just have to ask around. And then there's the Carrigaline website as well, is carrigalineallotments.ning.com. And also something to be aware of is that the Cork County Council at the moment are reviewing their local area plans. The deadline for the submissions was last Monday, but they're updating. It's the development plan for Cork County and the different electoral areas. And they'll be reviewing those again. There'll be, I think, in November of this year, there'll be submissions again to make an input into those plans. And it'd be a good thing to put more pressure on the council to provide them themselves, because under the Allotments Act, they're not obligated at all to provide them. And the best thing you can do if you do want the council eventually to provide something like allotments within the town where you're living would be to contact the council and insist that they put your name on a waiting list, because once they have the list and they know there's a demand, then they don't have to, but they will be more inclined probably to include those when they go making their development plans for the future. So it's something just to keep an eye out for. And I think that basically covers my own experience, and if there's any questions on anything. Thank you very much.